No, I'm good, thank you. I call the Glassboro Zoning Board of Adjustment regular business meeting for December 18th to order. Terry, can you please read the opening statement?
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, I hereby announce that adequate notice of this meeting, as required by said act, has been provided by adopting a schedule of regular monthly meetings for the year 2025, which schedule was posted on the Borough Hall Bulletin Board, mailed to the South Jersey Times, and filed with the Borough Clerk.
Everyone, please rise for a salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Moonen,
Here.
Mr. Ellis,
Here.
Mr. Lopez,
Here.
Ms. Lafferty,
Here.
Mr. Perner,
Here.
Mr. Smith,
Here.
Mr. Beegan,
Here.
Mr. Cowan.
Here.
And let the record reflect that Mr. Santor, Ms. Wyman, and Mr. Fiola have been excused.
Okay. Mr. Ellis, can you swear in our professionals, please?
Well, certainly. Gentlemen, each of you raise your right hand as you've done. Do you swear or affirm testimony you're about to give tonight is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief?
I do.
That's 2 yeses, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Everybody has a copy of the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Make a motion?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So be it. Okay, everybody has a copy of the bills. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
Make a motion?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So be it. All right, we don't have anything incoming, outgoing. Is there anybody from the public that has anything to say on a non-agenda item? Nobody here from the public?
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, members, we'll just remind ourselves, on the agenda, you see Nicholas Bracco application ZB 25-03 is postponed. That is gotta be renoticed, a piece of it, but the 200-foot list is not going to be renoticed. So if you receive notice, by virtue of being on the 200-foot list to 932 North Main Street, the Nicholas Bracco application, there'll be no further notice. You need to come back here, 7 o'clock, January 15, 2026, to be heard. Is there anybody here on that application? It appears not, but I ask anyway. You're here to be heard on that?
No, what had happened was I had sent.
Are you here to be heard on that? Who?
No,
He's the applicant.
He's the
Okay.
applicant.
I apologize.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, ZB 25-04, Mathis and Mathis Development, 55 Washington Avenue, Block 53.02, Lot 43 to 46. It is the R5 zone, looking for bulk variance to build a single-family dwelling on an undersized lot. Gentlemen?
Thank you. Board Charles Gavin Opperman on behalf of the applicant Mathis and Mathis. I have my principal Kevin Mathis here and our engineer planner Richard Carlson.
All right. Do you want to have them sworn?
Yes, please.
Sure. All right, fellas, raise your right hand. Do each of you swear or affirm testimony about to give tonight is true and correct to best of your knowledge, information, and belief?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So one is Kevin Matthew. Kevin Matthew, hello there. And the other is Richard Carlson. Mr. Chairman, do we know Mr. Carlson? He doesn't, I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. Why don't you colloquy him a
All
little bit?
right, Mr. Carlson, please come up. Can you please start with please provide your full name and your profession for the board, please?
Yes, my name's Richard Carlson. I'm a professional engineer.
Keep your voice up. We all want to hear it. Yeah,
I'm
sing
Richard Carlson, professional engineer.
What's the name of your business?
It's just Richard T. Carlson, P.E.
And have you presented before the boards, zoning boards or planning boards before?
Yes, I have.
it. Let me just hit a couple quick questions. Where were you graduated from college?
Widener University.
Okay, and what degree were you graduated with?
Civil degree.
Okay.
A bachelor's degree
Well,
in engineering.
okay, there you go. Right.
Okay.
And are you a licensed engineer in the state of New Jersey?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and how long have you been so licensed?
I think I got my license 1989.
Okay. And To your colleagues and your council's point, you've appeared before a number of boards in New Jersey to testify in support of applications, or because you work for boards, or something else you tell us?
To testify for applicants.
Okay, and you've done that tens of times or dozens of times?
Correct, yes.
All right, great. Well, welcome to Glassboro.
It's mostly been in
Sound
Winter
good enough,
County.
Mr. Chairman?
Yep.
All right, then we'll
See how this
recognize you
goes.
as a professional engineer, and we'll go from there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
The application was submitted, I believe it has been deemed complete. And there was, the engineer's report from Remington Vernick, provided for a request for certain testimony, as well as some clarifications on our submission. I believe the engineering requests have been completed, and I would certainly answer any of the additional testimonial questions as they come up, but I wanted to make sure that Mr. Carlson answered any of the engineering questions prior to going on to my client's testimony for the other aspects.
Mr. Regan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, so one of the item, there were two items in completeness review. One of them being the zoning data table had to be updated, which they did. The other one was regarding the wetlands location. There's no wetlands on the site, but adjacent to the property, there's a stream corridor with some associated wetlands to it. And the transition area, the 50-foot transition area, would overlap onto the site. My question was, which wasn't 100% answered, they showed it on the plan, but where did that information come from, the actual wetlands transition? Was there a wetland expert, or was it taken from
It was taken from DEP maps.
the New Jersey DEP maps? Right. And it also approximates where it would be like a 50-foot riparian corridor. So for this use, it probably is sufficient to show that. But I believe since there is, on a private property, there is a transition area, I think at some point, as a condition, they should show a restrictive conservation easement on that part of the property. a little
For that
corner.
50 feet?
Yeah, which cuts off the corner about. So if that's acceptable, that would be something that.
Does the applicant understand why that request is being made and agree to that?
Yes, I would say we are, and
Yes.
as a part of one of the other inquiries was a deed consolidation of the lots. It would be easy enough to incorporate that into the consolidated deed.
Okay, well enough. All right, thank you.
Then there's also sidewalk, they were requesting a waiver of sidewalk. That is something that would have to get the waiver from the council on that. So that would be a condition that they get that waiver from council on that, since we have the Safe Streets Initiative in town. So that would be that part of it. And they did address the grading. We didn't fully review it, but they did have the information there. But as part of their building permit, they would have to submit for a grading plan review also. And that's it, Mr. Chairman.
And of course, you understand the grading plan is required if you want to move forward, if you're granted relief and build this. You understand that? And you agree
Yes.
to that, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty
Correct.
standard stuff. All right. All right, well, thank you.
Mr. Cowan?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. With reference to a letter that Remington and Vernick supplied dated September 30, 2025, the applicant's property is in the R5 zone. What is being proposed is a permitted principal use in the R5 zone. I just wanted to reiterate that the sidewalk would require a waiver if the applicant is not able to provide that. I'd like to hear from the applicant whether there's any trees being removed as part of this application.
No, there will be none.
Okay.
It-
We-
It's a few trees on the neighbors that's adjacent, but that will be on him too, if he want to. But the lot is pretty much open.
As far as the subject lot, there's no trees being removed?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
You
Thank
say
you.
you laid out the building envelope and there are no trees in the building envelope?
It's on the outskirts of it.
Right.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
outside of the building envelope.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, yeah, the footprint and all that? Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
no
Okay.
trees. Clear.
We also recommend consolidating the lots.
Yes.
And we hit that, and council was good about it, because he said, look, I gotta do a deed of consolidation, we're down with that, so we'll also fold in the 50-foot limitation on that overlap from the wetlands that was just talked about a little bit ago.
Understood.
Fair to say, council?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, thank you.
And I actually was in touch with the, I think the county, and they recommended to me which building lot to use, because there's several numbers, 43, 44, 45, and they sent me an email. That way I'll send it to the surveyor, and it'll be lot 43 as one instead of all the additional lot numbers.
And if you could also forward that to our.
Yeah.
Right, the
Okay.
county's gonna make the call, so you
Right.
need to loop us in. That's
Yep,
who's gonna
yep.
make the call, on what the lot is.
Yep.
The proposed lot coverage of the building, there's 20% of the lot is required, and you're proposing 21.3%.
Yeah, I think we're proposing 1801, I'm not sure exactly square footage, but what will be required of that 20% is 17, so we are actually only 100 square of the
Could-
difference.
Can you give some testimony about why that extra 100 square feet might be required?
Because of the proposed footprint of the house
Okay.
that we chose. And that may change too. I may go to right now it's a rancher, and ranchers require more footprint. I may go to a 2-story, so it may shrink within the footprint.
But your application this evening is for the 1,808 square feet.
Correct.
Shown, which I think is reflected on the architectural plans that you submitted. I mean, on the site plan,
Site
but as far as the architectural plans, is this what's being proposed, what you
Yeah,
submitted with the
that's been
application?
proposed now, correct.
Okay, I know it's dated 2006, but this is still a current plan that you have?
Yeah, right now, that proposal, because actually it was the owner of it now, I'm purchasing off of him. That was his plan that he got from like a modular company. So I assumed that, but I'm gonna modify it with my architect. So when I get to the permit process, then that will be reflected there as far as, you know,
Okay,
code and everything.
but in terms of the architectural.
He's trying to get you, do you know what you're building yet? I'm
Yeah.
just gonna cut to the chase.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do?
basically but it just may be a second story.
Okay, well then that's,
Just
Yeah.
a quick question, I mean, you're asking us to make a decision on something we don't even see.
that's
it,
what-
Like, can you have pictures of the site?
Oh, I got
Can we
it.
see that?
Sorry, we'll bring it over, and we'll introduce Exhibit A.
No.
I kind of custom made this myself.
For square footage.
Okay, so we have professionals that
move
have to
that
see
back?
it.
Yeah.
There is a public, even though there's only one guy here. So this is the board that may or may not grant your relief. So obviously, they need to see it. So pick a spot, there or there.
On the side, yeah.
All right, there you go.
Everybody can see.
There you go. There you
It's a little tight for you.
go. Oh, that's fine, that's fine.
That'll probably work. You see it? It'll work.
I can.
Go ahead. You're fine.
I believe you have the copies, correct?
I do, yes.
You don't have to speak up, Kevin, though, we don't have the speaker here.
Would you like to provide a little testimony about what's being proposed, the architectural?
Right now, what's being proposed is a single-family house. It's a 2-car garage. And it has, currently, this particular model is like a 4-bedroom. Let me see what else.
I thought I read, did I read 3-bedroom in there?
3-bedroom.
I thought I read 3-bedroom. in there.
Which is,
Says 3 on the,
Yeah, this one, it shows that.
Well, that's different. So it's 3-bedroom.
Yeah, well, that's what was on the, what was that, the site plan? Yeah, but the model was, it was a 4-bedroom.
You're not making any sense. We got a 3-bedroom as part of the application. That's what you're here to get approved.
Right, right.
So why are you even saying the word 4? There aren't 4 bedrooms. There are 3 bedrooms.
Yeah.
We just established that.
Oh, okay.
So why would you say 4?
Well, I was thinking in terms of when I modified it to the 2-story, I was gonna do like a 4-bedroom.
I'm not ready
Well,
for this.
Yeah.
We just asked you, what are you building? So you're building a rancher or you're building a 2-story? Not modifying it. We're
Yeah.
not part of the project, is what I'm
Okay,
saying.
right, all right. For now, I wanna get this approved, but I want the option, if I wanted to go to a 2-story, and to create more space, because I didn't like the layout of the first floor plan, optional. But if I get approved, we can prove it for what it is now for the 3-story, and then when I go to, submit my permits, when I do the updated plans, I wanted to see if I can do a 2-story instead of a 1-story.
Whatever, if I'm not mistaken, whatever we approve here, that's what it's gonna be. There's
So-
not gonna be an upgrade
So what you're
modification
saying
somewhere
is-
down the road.
So what
Well,
you,
hold the phone. Our professional had a comment, maybe that.
Go ahead, Mr. Collins.
Yeah, maybe you got
You
something.
can begin.
Whatever's approved tonight,
Mhm.
if it's the square footage of the
Right.
footprint, that's important.
right,
Also, the number of bedrooms is important in terms of the intensity of the building itself.
Right.
okay.
It has to meet residential site improvement standards. But with his two-car garage and a, what is it, 20-foot wide, or a wider driveway, whether it's a 3 or 4-bedroom, it's a difference of it's 2 parking spaces. They could fit them within those areas too. So it shouldn't make a difference, 3 or 4-bedroom as far as RSIS goes. So the most important thing, I guess, is the footprint itself.
Right.
And they could only build up to whatever they get approved
Right,
tonight. But
right.
if they go for something smaller in footprint, then I don't know if they need to come back again.
I thought that was something to be
Well, I don't
held
think
with the
you guys- you
construction
guys don't
part.
have a- Do you have a minimum square footage? Is there, do you,
The square footage of the variance is.
no. Is there a minimum? Some towns have a minimum floor square footage. They don't want you building any,
Smaller than,
anything smaller than like 900 square feet
Oh.
for one floor. I'm thinking of National Park, quite frankly.
Right.
So Glassboro doesn't have that restriction. Okay. All right, well, that's some flexibility for you. Good.
That's why I wanted to entertain it, because the fact that it's not a septic system. If you're dealing with a septic system, then you'd be restricted to how many bedrooms that will occupy it.
You're gonna make it more don't start talking about septic systems.
No, he's right.
You just, yeah, don't worry about that. The council was, I think, addressing your concern and interest. So, Mr. Lopez, does that make sense to you, or does that help you a little bit?
No, I totally understand what you're saying.
Okay, good.
I'm not saying that.
Can I interrupt for 1 second? Exhibit A1, what are we calling that as our exhibit?
A1.
Well, we'll
Yeah,
call
but
it
what is
A1,
it?
and we're just gonna call it
Elevation?
proposed elevation.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay,
elevation of
thank you.
proposed building,
Okay.
single-family dwelling.
So I have a question. I don't know if I'm going out of turn, but
Nope.
if you're looking, as you said, to go to a 2nd story, and then that would shrink your square footage, and then you may then very well be not asking for an additional variance for whatever setback, wouldn't that be your easier way to go?
No, because the envelope to be conforming is too small, so I would have to just stay within that footprint. It won't change anything for me. Like, it'll just be,
Didn't you say you were gonna, that would reduce your square footage?
it's a possibility, if I go 2nd floor, I may bring the house in, because I won't need all that much footprint for its living space on the 1st floor. It's optional.
Anything else, Mr. Cowan?
No, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
You
you have anything else?
Just wanted to confirm that we are requesting the waiver for the sidewalk, and I believe there was actually a comment on curbage as well, which we require a waiver for.
So I think the board's professional had asked for, and you might want to, your engineer's here, you're paying him, so you might as well get him saying something. So why are you asking for a waiver of the curb?
And sidewalk.
And
the
sidewalk?
And the sidewalk.
What's the big idea, so to speak?
The waiver, nothing up and down the street has curbs or sidewalk.
Because it's fairly new, it's a fairly new
Fairly new
street.
street.
It has to, I mean, it should start somewhere, and wouldn't curb appeal increase your value?
Well, they may or may not have an answer to that, but if the board wants to see curb and sidewalk, the board can require curb and sidewalk. It's that simple.
At least,
Life in a big city, so to speak.
yeah, at least to nowhere, like all. the-
And that may be the case.
Yeah.
And that will be,
It'll look funny looking, the curb stop.
and you may feel that way.
Yeah.
But if the board wants curb and sidewalk, they're gonna make that a condition of approval, and there's gonna be curb and sidewalk. And the board seems to feel that that would be forward thinking, because while you say there's no other dwellings there, their position seems to be that there will be. But I'm just saying what I just heard. Mr. Chairman, members, did I miss that or something else?
You're right.
Yeah, you got it.
All right, well, there you go.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I may have spoken a little too soon here. I wanted to mention, this is a bulk variance application, and I think we should hear from the applicant with respect to the proofs that are necessary for either a C1 or a C2 bulk variance, if possible, with respect to the positive and negative criteria. I think we should hear some testimony on the record about that.
Okay.
Sure. So Kevin, the request is for us to describe a couple of things. The first is positive criteria. This is to address whether or not our proposed variances are going to improve the aesthetics, and give it that the property itself is consistent with their plan, the master plan and the designs. But mostly for the purposes of, why do we need these variances so you can build what you are looking to build? What's the advantage of the variances? Why couldn't we build within it?
Okay. Right now, it requires 8,000 square foot for the building lot itself. We have 8,500 square feet, but the difference is, we have 100-foot frontage, and we have 80-foot in depth, and it should be reversed. It should be 80-foot frontage and 100-foot depth. If I had that, then I wouldn't be here tonight, and that's the reason. So I'm actually 500 square foot bigger on the lot, but it's just the setback codes, 80 versus 100. So that's the difference.
So, Mr. Chairman, it sounds like the applicant is making a hardship case, which is a C1 variance. Normally, the testimony would come from their planner. I'm not sure if this gentleman is a licensed planner, but perhaps the engineer is a planner, and
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, he's done, he's,
if he can just corroborate, basically summarize that as well, that would be helpful.
No.
As was said and indicated on the, on the plans, just the buildable area on the lot, because of the depth and all the front setbacks and others, restricts how big of a house you could build. I mean, literally in depth, I don't know it off my head, but the lot has shrunk to the buildable size, which would make the living space of the house, if you had the 3 bedrooms on the first floor, living room, kitchen, and stuff like that, you make it into a little dollhouse almost. As far as aesthetics and stuff, I mean, he plans on building, a comparable house that's presentable to the neighborhood and probably upgrade to the lot itself. Dress it up, landscape around it, clean up. Go ahead.
The front setback is 40 feet according to the ordinance. Is there any other houses nearby on that street that have a 40-foot setback, or do they have less than that?
Everyone that I've looked at have less than 40 feet. Most are in the neighborhood of 20 feet setbacks.
Did you measure
I,
that?
I did not measure 100%.
You're estimating.
Yeah. Take a shot.
Where
Would- go
where are
ahead.
you looking?
Right now, the way we have this house is in, the setback is in line with the neighboring house, which is non-conforming. So I want the house to still look conforming, even though it's non-conforming, but it's not gonna sit back this way staggered. It's gonna be in line with it and makes it, look right.
Okay.
Do you have photos of the street?
I got a video on my phone, but
That'll work.
yeah.
Well, no, it won't work, because how we gonna see it?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
could
true.
look at his
Yeah,
phone, but you can't enter it into evidence, so.
Yeah, gotcha.
These are all pointers for, before you jump to that skyscraper, you gotta iron out some of these routines, because you gotta,
There is, if I might,
yeah.
there is a, on the site plan, a depiction of the neighboring house on Washington Avenue, which is, to the left. I don't see a north one. To the left as you look at the site plan. So that, if that's accurate, that should be, an indication that, the neighboring house is actually a little bit further toward the street than what's being proposed.
But if you just told
Or at
me
least
he didn't-
comparable.
If this is his plan, he signed it, if he just told me he didn't measure it, why would I take this as being accurate?
Right.
You just told me you didn't
Yeah,
measure
there's no,
it, and it's your plan. So I can't take this.
If you look at the plan in the bottom left corner, utilize the survey provided by Lakeland Survey. He's the one who indicated where the house is.
but there's no dimensions on, it shows a 1.5-story frame dwelling. And it shows what the side yard setback is, but it doesn't show what the front yard setback is. Why?
Not on the neighboring house.
Right, but it does show their side yard setback, so there's no way that we can determine whether that is truly less or more without a dimension.
Good point.
Or a picture.
That could be provided though as a condition. I can have the survey if you want it
Well,
certified.
yeah, it can be provided as a condition.
Yeah.
As a condition, you come back next month, we look at it next month, and we start all this again.
No, we don't wanna do that.
Well, that would be the condition,
Nah,
because how else could it be a condition?
yeah. But,
We look at the photograph and we pass it around, like, to one another at their offices, and then take a phone vote or something. I mean, come on, think about it. Here we, this is why we do it this way.
so you feel like the
I don't feel anything.
setback?
I'm the hired help.
Oh,
I'm the
okay.
attorney for the board. The board's gonna tell you exactly how they feel.
I mean, the depiction on the plans of the neighboring house is done by a professional licensed surveyor.
And again, there's no dimension,
No dimension.
Nope.
But
and I don't have a scale.
right there.
I understand what you're saying, sir. I did go to the street. I did take a look.
Yeah.
I do have a photo.
Well, what the board can do, if it makes sense to the board, is just to say that the house shall be set back the same distance from the property line as the house next door is. If you wanna use that as the paradigm
Appreciate
or
that.
the yardstick. Little bit of punching in the dark, because to your point, you don't know
What this, yeah.
what the setback of the neighboring house is.
I don't know if they got a variance.
You don't know if they got a variance, if it's actually quite sensible, quite nice, or something else. So, but
Yeah, that house is old. It's an older house. Yeah, that house been there a long time, the neighbors. So it's definitely before
I mean,
the rules.
maybe you want to request what resolution approved that house and use it to your advantage. There you'd know what they were granted.
I don't know, I gotta find out what year that house was built, but it's very, very
Doesn't
old.
look old.
But the
No,
one
it
left,
doesn't.
to the left of me?
Doesn't look old. That's, there's only the one house on the street,
Yeah, it's like, yeah, one there, one across the street, right.
on, you know, on that side, I'm sorry.
But I'm willing to do whatever I need to do to make sure it's in line with what is existing.
Gentlemen, have anything else?
I believe that completes the application. From the standpoint of addressing the design, and we want to keep the aesthetic with the community, keep it consistent, as
Yep.
my client has testified.
Yep.
Desires to make a home that's consistent with the community design, fitting on an undersized lot. The variance is sought to make that possible. The desire to have an option of extending it to a possible four-bedroom or two-story, still fitting within the same footprint of our proposed, and the variances are sought so that we can confirm that the building can be compliant with sufficient space for off-street parking, et cetera. I believe the testimony's been provided and answers to the questions presented by the engineers. And we seek to have the vote tonight.
Any other questions from the board? All right, right now I want to open this up to the public. Do I have a motion to open to the public?
Motion to open to the public.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak about this item that's on the agenda in front of us currently?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Clark Pierpont, zoning officer for the Borough of Glassboro. Two things. First of all, the house next door was built in 1955, so it predated the zoning code.
Looks good.
And it is probably
Brings
closer
it
to
to
the street than
non-conforming?
possible. However,
You know what,
It is a
forgive me,
sing-
I'm
Yeah.
gonna ask you to raise your right hand. And do you swear from testimony you're about to give is true and correct, the best of your knowledge, information, and belief?
I do.
Now, you've just published something on the record, and is that true and correct, the best of your knowledge,
It
information,
is.
and belief? Okay, thank you, I'm sorry for
So-
the interruption.
The other thing I wanted to bring up is the fact that the house is also a one-story rancher, as well as the house across the street is a one-story rancher. So if the applicant, and my only concern is if the applicant comes in after your approval for these variances with a two-story house, I want to make sure that the zoning board considered the fact that the front yard setback is reduced to the point to match other houses which are only one story high. And now you're gonna put a two-story house with the same front yard setback, where normally two-story houses would sit a little further back.
Correct.
So you can make your decision based on that however you want, but, you know, if he can come in with any plan he wants, as long as it meets the footprint and any other conditions you put on it. But I would caution the applicant as well as the board to approve a setback where he may come in, you know, without any restriction on the building height to approve that setback. Currently, the code for undersized lots takes that into effect
Yes.
and actually reduces the maximum height based on lot size, just for that reason. So I just wanted to make you aware of that.
What's the maximum, what's the height on that dwelling? The one across the street, you're saying they reduced the maximum height?
No, I'm just
No.
saying our code would require for a reduced lot size that the maximum height be lowered in the same percentage as the setback.
John, the other two are ranchers, one story.
No, that's, I heard that part, that's why I was wondering where you got.
Yeah,
that
there is a
phrase up.
two-story further up the
We got
street
that.
towards South Academy, but it also sits back a little further.
Correct.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else from the public? Do I have a motion to close the public portion?
Motion to close.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so be it. What's the pleasure of the board?
So let me just ask this. If in fact you moved the house further this way, you would still be meeting the 10-foot setback on, you only need to meet the one 10-foot setback. That way you would you could move the garage back further and then you could be putting yourself into a greater front yard setback. So if the garage was more in line with the house, then your setback wouldn't be as great.
Okay, I got an answer for that.
Okay.
I don't have much of a backyard. That's why I favored the left side, so I can have more space on the right side. That's why I wouldn't want to put the garage on the left side, because once we get this, I think we only have 19 feet of a backyard. So I shifted where it's more to the left. That way, the backyard and the side yard would be kind of in conjunction with one another, so I can have more space.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I have a motion?
Oh, I'll make a motion to approve the, what's the request? C1 variance that are called out in Mr. Collins' letter.
The board also called out curb and sidewalk,
Go ahead.
and anything else that was spread on the record will be part of the motion, but you're making the motion to approve, and then the
Right.
board would consider your motion. Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. Roll call.
1 second. Ms. Lafferty?
No, and I'll tell you, there's just not enough information. I'm confused of whether we're having a one-story, a two-story, without knowing exactly what the setback will be. I understand what the gentleman said regarding, you know, the side yard, but, and I definitely are a no to the curbing and sidewalks.
Mr. Perner?
I'm gonna go no, not knowing the size of the lot, the building that is going to be placed, like, or Mr. Pierpont said, about the proposed frontage, how far back it's going to be. If we had an idea of, you know, what the final building was going to be, then maybe be a little more open to that, at this time.
Mr. Smith?
No, same thing as far as the setback. We don't have a clear idea and understanding as of right now.
Mr. Lopez?
No, for the same reasons, we're given information, did a site visit based on this information, drawn different documents, different pictures, so it just seems unprepared and not really in line with what I thought, so, no.
Mr. Munin?
Not in favor.
Thank you.
Welcome.
We'll consider the,
You got a lawyer, he's a good lawyer, there are options, but they've gotta be what they're considered to be substantial under the law. He'll tell you what that word substantial means and the significance and importance of it. And maybe we'll see you again, but in any event, we wish you a healthy and happy holiday and a good new year.
thank you.
All right, let's see, we don't have any reports. When it comes to the workshop, we didn't meet this month. Mr. Alice's report?
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members. You'll remember, we did have a matter, Ascenda, and application for a use variance, and that was granted for Block 33, Lot 26, Resolution 25-11 for your consideration.
All right, do we have a motion? to
I'll make a
approve?
motion.
Second.
Ms. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Perner?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Lopez?
Yes.
Mr. Munin?
Yes. All right, there's no old business, no new business. Do I have a motion to open to the public?
Make a motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anybody from the public that has anything they would like to say? With that being said,
I make a motion to close.
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
So be it. Looks like we're going to be busy next month.
We have 2 applications for the January meeting, along with reorg.
Cool.
Okay?
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor? Opposed? So be it.
Hey, happy holidays, everybody.
It's all right, George. We'll get you there. Next time I'll just.